Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show.
How much sleep does your child need? Have you ever heard of a sleep debt? If you have a teenager, you have seen the sleep debt in action, I'm willing to bet. This is where someone is not getting enough sleep, say, during the week, and then during the weekend, they sleep for what seems like hours and hours on end, and they do this to catch up. You just thought your teenager was being lazy, but there is actual research that shows that if your child does not regularly pay their sleep debt and catch up on that sleep that they have missed during the week, it could have lasting ill effects on their overall health. What are the benefits to children getting sleep? Sleep is crucial for children's physical and mental development. We have all heard of rest and restore. During sleep, the body restores and repairs itself, which is why it is so important when children are sick or injured that they sleep even more than usual. Here are the benefits of sleep in regards to physical health: growth and development, immune system, weight management, cognitive development, memory and learning, concentration and attention, and problem-solving skills. In regards to emotional well-being, sleep helps with mood regulation, mental health, performance and achievement, academic success, and ability to do extracurricular activities. What are the problems that occur if children do not get enough sleep? Well, just like there are fabulous benefits to making sure that your children get great sleep, there are also really horrible problems that can occur if they do not sleep well regularly. Problems include behavioral problems, cognitive impairment, physical issues, and developmental delays. Mental health concerns include anxiety and depression, impaired learning, increased risk of accidents, and social interaction problems. Exactly what are the recommended sleep hours for children? It helps, like now that we as parents think that sleep is really important, it helps us if we have a guide for how much sleep children really need. So the standard recommendation, and I have links for where I'm getting all of this, is for newborns 0 to 3 months, 14 to 17 hours per 24-hour period. Infants 4 to 11 months, 12 to 15 hours per 24-hour period. Toddlers 1 to 2 years old, 11 to 14 hours per 24-hour period. Preschoolers 3 to 5 years, 10 to 13 hours per night. School-age children 6 to 13 years, 9 to 11 hours per night. Teenagers 14 to 17 years, 8 to 10 hours per night. So that's a lot of sleep. And I'm thinking about my kids, and one of them always made sure he got that amount of sleep. He always got 9 to 10 hours of sleep. He loved his sleep. The other one didn't, but he's also the guy who slept in so much on the weekends. How do I establish a bedtime ritual? Creating a consistent bedtime routine with regular rituals is a key factor in the promotion of not only healthy sleep, but also in creating a consistent bedtime routine with regular rituals is a key factor in the promotion of healthy sleep and development of well-being in early childhood. Having predictable rituals can help your child feel secure and prepare them for a good night's rest. Here's some ideas for establishing consistent bedtime rituals. Sequence. Establish the same sequence of calming activities each night to help children transition from the busyness of the day to nighttime. We all like to know what we can count on and what comes next. Children thrive on consistency. Comforting activities. Incorporate soothing activities into the bedtime ritual to help children transition to sleep time. You can get creative and think about your child's love language. So touch, back rubs, cuddling, affirmation. Play I love you because game. You can write a I love you note to each other for the following day. Quality time. Talk about your day to each other or keep a gratitude journal. Gifts. Get a subscription to a magazine in your child's interest and read it together. Or give your child a special photo book, and each night they can put one photo in it with the decorations and the caption. Acts of service. Help them pick up before bed or read a book together and alternate chapters. I have a love notes that you can hide. I created 30 love notes that you can hide, and they can find them. And it talks about why they're so special. And these really boost your child's self-esteem, and it gives you guys a special link. I'll have that in the notes as well. Limit screen time. Avoid times at screen at least an hour before bedtime, because the blue light can interfere with the production of sleep hormones. Encourage relaxing activities instead. Set the mood. Dimming the lights an hour leading into bedtime can help signal the body that it's time to start winding down and preparing for sleep. It also lets the kid know that the 1 hour timer has started. Get all senses on board. In addition to the dark and cool, what does your child like to hear or smell? Relaxing scents include lavender, Roman chamomile, and cedarwood. I like to listen to Spotify, and they have these special sounds, and one is Miracle Tones. I think that's the name of the group or the music or whatever, and it's 432 Hz or Hertz deep sleep. I'm not a white noise fan, but that might be perfect for your child. Bedtime snack. I'm really mixed on this one, because I am of the mind that the American society as a whole is overweight, and we have serious health issues because of this. So I do not think that eating right before bed is a great idea. However, personally, I cannot go to sleep if I am hungry, and I also get a headache. So this is kind of a dilemma. Make sure your child eats a full dinner at dinner time. And if they are hungry before bed, offer a glass of warm milk. My boys loved this, with a little bit of cinnamon and vanilla and almond extract in it. They thought this was great. Or a glass of chamomile tea. Yeah, my boys wouldn't touch the chamomile tea, but they did like mint medley. That was a favorite. These help the eyelids start to droop without extra stuff the body has to work on digesting in that night, because remember, they're supposed to be repairing. Mindfulness or meditation. These are so big with kids. Everyone is recommending that your kids do mindfulness activities. Some great mindfulness techniques before bed include 5-finger breathing, box or square breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, mindful coloring. I can totally get on board with mindful coloring, and listening to some relaxing music. There's also guided visualization. I have links for almost all of those. So if you have questions about anything I talk about, just go to my end notes and you'll see a lot of my references for where I got my research, and a lot of the links and other blogs or videos I may have done, where you can also see a lot of extra stuff on individualized stuff like this. For the guided meditation, you can do this and you can make this up, or there are a ton on YouTube. I had fun looking at them all. My two favorite were Spaceship to the Moon and The Clever Fox, and they were actually created by the same people, New Horizon Holistic Center. The necessaries. You still have to do the necessaries at bedtime. Some people use chore charts or graphs to help with this, but these are important to the bedtime ritual. Brush your teeth, bathe or wash your face, possibly prepare for the following day. Finish any nighttime pet needs. Our dog always gets to go out for a last potty and a treat. Put on jammies. Connection time. We talked about earlier, sometimes when couples get together, the lights are dimmed and it signifies romance and connection. Well, every night when the lights go down, your children can look forward to this time. The dimming of the lights can signify that you are putting away your chores, your work, your distractions, anything that draws you away from your children. And instead, you're going to spend that last hour with the lights go dim, spending quality time with the kids. It's the time to celebrate the end of one day and look forward to the next. How do I encourage healthy sleep habits? A lot of these things that I mentioned. You're going to create that relaxing bedtime routine. You can also create your own traditions. For example, my grandpa was kind of stern and gruff, and he was gone all day. So my sister and I bonded really easily with my grandma, but not so much with my grandpa. But every night he would come home and he would eat dinner, and then he'd go to his chair, he'd smoke his pipe, and he'd read his paper. And he'd have his paper up like this in front of him, so, he didn't see us. Well, my sister and I, we would go take our baths, and we'd get in our nighties, and then we would sneak in to see Grandpa, and we'd each steal one of his slippers. And magically, they were very loose off of his feet, and he'd never hear us coming, even though this happened every single night. And we'd each steal one, and we'd go and we'd hide it somewhere in the house. And he'd be like, what happened to my slippers? And two little girls would be like, like, this is all a surprise. This happened every single night, but we loved it. And he'd look all over, I wonder where my slippers are. And eventually he found them. We loved this. He'd say, okay, girls, good night. And then Grandma would read us our stories. But this was part of our routine every single night. And it meant a lot to us, and it gave us a connection to Grandpa. Limit your screen time before bed. Make sure the room is dark and quiet, and usually the right temperature, which is colder rather than hot. Blackout shades are helpful. Encourage physical activity that day, because your kids are going to sleep better if they're tuckered out. And avoid stimulating activities right before bed. This is different for different people. For me, this could be a really exciting book. If it's a really exciting book, I want to read on through the night. No TV right before bed, and I have to keep that 1 hour screen time rule. Getting enough sleep is crucial for children's physical and mental development. And yet many parents and children seem to battle the bed routine every single night. If you remember to turn it into a time of quality connection and a soothing ritual, your child will look forward to the ending of each day and a soft place to lay their head at night. The movie quote this week, Mrs. Potts, off to the cupboard with you now, Chip. It's way past your bedtime. Good night, love. Sleep well. Beauty and the Beast.
If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media networks. See you next week for a new episode.